guys? It's your boy Crypt. Right now, I'm teaching how to make shoes. How to make shoes. So let's get right into it. First, you're gonna have to get your references. I found mine on Grailed, but you can find yours on Depop. You could do StockX method. You could do any sorts of methods as long as they have a front, side, back, and underneath reference. So here's what I found. I found the back reference, front reference, the somewhat side reference, the back, the bottom reference. These could all be found at the at Grailed. These could be found at Grailed. Several things can be found at Grailed, but there's a certain type of prompt that you have to put if they don't give you a straightforward answer with front, back, or side refs. There's a specific one that can be found only on Discord, which is through Photo Bashing Haven. If you're not in here, then shit, there would be some person who would just type a prompt in. It's just about keeping details, lighting, composure, and all that whack ass bullshit, and just providing a front, back, side, and underneath angle all in one showcase. So if you don't have any of those, I think it would rather be nice if you got the references up and ready rather than going straight forward and straight into it raw. So first, you're gonna have to get your front reference. I work with front references first because that is the most comfortable for me. But shit, these types of references will lean onto they will lean onto a fucking onto a side. So what I do best is that I keep the bottom half in place by move I move the side a little bit. Move the side a little bit, or just straight up just straight up fucking liquefy. So I keep the bottom half, and then I go in on liquefy, then I stretch this out more. Stretch this out more. That is not fucking straight. And then some of this I have to actually, be put onto one side because the tongue, the tongue of the shoe has to be only for the front. It cannot stretch out to the sides or anything like that. You cannot do that. It can only be stretched to the front and the front only. You cannot do anything other than that. Now for this one right here, what I do then is that I lay the lay the base down like that. Lay the base down so that, of course, whenever I try to go in for the front ref, then I'm not just fucking around, you know. So I'm not just trying to work with something that goes up, but instead is just flat based. And then now it's time to move on to the side. This one's going to be difficult because this is the side angle. This is the side angle. This is going to be difficult, but I guess I can work with it. So what is going to happen is that there's fundamentals to the shit if you're wanting to have the sides be smooth into the front or smooth into the back. There's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of parts that go from one end to the other, and then they're smoothed out in between them so that it's not just compiled into one like a piece of dog shit. So what I would do now is that I will get all the stuff that make up that smoothness from one side to the other. I would take, of course, the what is on the front bottom sole. Then I would just stretch that out. It's okay though. And then for this, I would just add a shadow underneath this. So that. And then, of course. So, of course, mine is looking like this. So, yeah, you're gonna have to go one by one with these. And it's not about you pasting the reference that you put and remove the background of onto the template. It's about removing it part by part so that it smoothens out and that it smooths out to from one side to the other side. So you're gonna have to take it part by part so that you're able to actually make of what is called a shoe. Some parts could be stretched out. Some parts could, you know, just fucking sit there. And on some of these references, there's shadow underneath them. So I'm just go ahead and do that. And then all that could be compiled up. And then now it's time to actually add what is in between them, which is the zipper. So now everything is set apart. It's just that there's other places that need to be, actually filled in so that it's not just one big fucking glob of just absolutely nothing. So after all that has been done, I have to take some of this something, fill it in. course, the more I go up, the more, you know, there would be added of shadow stuff. Not too much though, because there's still some things that need to be, of course, added. And then, since you're done with the side now, then, of course, all that need to be fixed. Alright? And after when that's finished, of course, now we have to do the back. So we can just merge all that. And of course we can do the tongue later. But of course that's optional. And then of course fix everything up before we have to, copy and paste. This is the one thing that I hate doing because people be overusing it. Overusing it meaning that in a way they don't differentiate from one side to the other. And for this type of reference, they're both the fucking same. They're both the same. And I don't think it really matters as long as the other side you can tell the difference from. Like one may be farther than the other one, you know? But other than that, you could copy and paste, and it's an option too. But it's to a point where if you don't manage how much from one side you copy to the other, it will just be the same fucking image reversed. And then of course there's the back reference, which is just then all we have to do is just again take it apart one by one. Uh, course, there's the extra shit that's on the sides. Then stretch this all the way out. Flatline this. So there we go. Then we liquefy it because it dips down, but not too much. And then there's shadow around it. And again, we go back to the tongue. Go back to the tongue. It dips. There we go. All right. And then all we have to do now is just trying to match up the bottom of the front area to the bottom. That's basically what it is. And to liquefy and stretch out the sides. So to stretch out them sides and then clean up what is extra on the sides. It's not necessary to get rid of the extra stuff above because you could just use it to blend. You can use it to blend like that if it matches. Other than that, everything is all good. You basically completed the shoe, but if you want it sharpened, these are the settings to do so. For the settings for the shoe, this is either to make it more bright or more dark. So illuminate more. Contrast is how much highlight is highlighting the most brightest spots for them to be darker or not. Shadow is to enlighten what is dark. White is to, of course, then texture is emphasizing clarity. Vigilant is green. Sharpness 50, 2.5, 50, 5, detail all the way up. This is what I've taught all you guys on my tutorials, that every single thing that is sharpened from me is from same settings that I taught on the pants, on the flat refs. It's always there. And then after all that, you're basically finished. Now you just have to copy and paste it to the other side. And anything that is of a logo, like the Jordan symbol, the thing that you have to do on the side that you have started on, and when you finish, is that the Jordan's logo will be reversed. It will be on the tongue and the back side. You're going to have to select both logos, paste them as is, and do not reverse them, but copy and paste as is onto this side and blend it in with the tongue. Because on actual Jordans, it's the same way that it is on the other side. It's the same way and it's facing the same way. So don't reverse and have that same mistake that I see other people doing. So this is the shoe that I have made. It is a Pierre Balmain high top sneaker. This is pretty good. Anyways, that concludes the YouTube tutorial. Took around 25 minutes. I'll see you guys until then. And Mason is working on the flat ref tutorial, so maybe go check that out. Go check out our Discord. And our server is a asset vault, so everything will be provided to you. Shoes, underwear, wrinkles, assets, tutorials, anything that you would need in a regular, make clothing designing server will be in our server. See you guys until then.